Welcome into Boston Celtics today. I am Tom Downey here with latest rumors, and we begin with some conflicting information to a certain extent on Damian Lillard once again. The report from Shams is that the desired to be traded point guard who wants out of Portland doesn't want to be a member of the Boston Celtics. We will break this down more in depth here and how there is some contradictory reporting going on between Boston's side of it here. But if you guys love the Celtics, show us you do by liking today's video right now. If you haven't already, like it. We do videos all the time for you guys, and the more likes we get, the more videos we can do. So help us out to help you out by liking today's video right now. Here's what Shams reported on Damian Lillard. He says, whether it's the Clippers, whether it's the Celtics, those are among the two teams that I've heard have had a level of interest in Damian Lillard. I think the answer has been a resounding no. He wants to be in Miami, period. Now, on the first point here, it's not even like all the reports, and even reports is kind of maybe underselling it. His own agent said he just wants to be in Miami. So it's pretty clear from the Lillard camp, he wants to be a member of the Miami Heat. And unless something changes, whether that's Dame gives in, different team emerges as a potential threat and makes sense maybe at the trade deadline or midseason, then it doesn't sound like he wants to be anywhere other than Miami. What's contradictory about that reporting is what we had mentioned on a previous video around the Boston Celtics, that the report from the Boston Globe that the Celtics were already out on Damian Lillard. Shams says they were at least in it. Maybe it's one of those both things can be true. Boston did have interest. Now they're out of it, and Shams is just kind of reporting some older information because I'll be honest, I know it's July and we want more NBA stuff. I don't know how much new information has really emerged around Dame Lillard at this point. I think it's kind of the same things being rehashed from the national media perspective. There were four teams that were linked to Dame: Miami, Boston, the Clippers, and the New York Knicks. And with what Dame has done over the course of his NBA career, I understand why Boston at least picked up the phone. They make the big splashy move to acquire Kristaps Porzingis. He's now their big man. They have Jason Tatum. They have Jaylen Brown. And adding Dame Lillard to that core would be really fun. I also think it would be damn near impossible to find a way to potentially acquire Damian Lillard and not give up a player of Jaylen Brown's caliber, which means Boston's not operating quite on the same timeline with their total core. Porzingis is a little bit older, but not by a lot. He still fits especially with how big men tend to age, a Brown-Tatum grouping. But I just don't know if Lillard really fits that timeline, although it would be worth it, I suppose, in the event you would be able to win a championship. So should the Celtics still pursue Damian Lillard? Y for yes, N for no. This is going to be today's pinned comment, so if the ad comes here on YouTube, take advantage of it. Head down there and let me know. I need to move on. It's very clear to me that Dame wants to be in Boston, or in Miami. Whether or not that's maybe the route he should be taking is up for debate. But from Boston's perspective, got a player who doesn't want to be anywhere other than Miami. I think if you traded for him, he'd be fine. He'd get over it. But the cost involved, the timing involved, the threat of him being a pouty superstar isn't something you want to add right now to the Celtics. See if the Brown-Tatum duo plus Porzingis can get you over the hump. If not, well, then we'll be doing the same trade rumor conversations again this time next offseason. And we will have you guys covered, by the way, all year long. If you haven't already, hit that sub button for more free Celtics videos, news, rumors, trades, free agency, the draft, when the draft is actually happening. Maybe we'll even have some more fun with some in-season coverage for you guys this year. If you haven't already, please subscribe. Hit that sub button right now. Some news to get into now, as JD Davison has re-signed with the Boston Celtics on another two-way contract, the exact contract he had last year after being picked up out of Alabama by the Boston Celtics. In the G League last year, Davison had 13.2 points per game, 7.7 assists, 4.5 rebounds, almost a steal per game. He was a quality G League player. He's not necessarily a superstar, but he's a young piece that Boston can continue to try to grow and develop. And we'll, of course, see how he continues to play in the Summer League right now. It is worth mentioning Boston has two-way spots left. Remember, the rules have changed. You are now allowed 3 two-way roster spots. So there are some options from that perspective in terms of what Boston has right now. The overall roster for the Celtics, I think, is in pretty good shape. The two-way guys you're looking for often fit, if you need to call them up, filling that back end role. But now that it's 3, you can almost kind of fill different spots. You can fill the guard spot, the wing spot, and the big man spot. I think in general, maybe looking for another big or another wing wouldn't be the worst idea because of how much you'll utilize Brown and Tatum as ball handlers on offense. I think adding some more size could be nice there, but this is just depth pieces. 2 names to monitor here for the Boston Celtics, names you're probably familiar with and on board with. James Nagy and Justin Champagnie, 2 guys that stand out to me as potential two-way spots to fill them there. Maybe Boston waits a little bit longer. Maybe they even let the Summer League continue to play out. But those are 2 players to monitor as Boston looks to fill those extra two-way spots. So with that in mind, whether it's on a two-way deal or, as we'll get into, on an actual contract, name a player that you think the Celtics should sign to fill out the back end of that roster this year. Head down to the comments section and let me know. Now, the Celtics have worked out Alize Johnson as well. That is the NBA veteran. The Celtics have done this before. They've tried out different veteran players. And I will be honest with you, the name Alize Johnson is not something I have thought about that much in recent memory. He did not play a ton last year for the Brooklyn Nets. He was a bit player from that perspective, didn't do a ton, kind of bounced around. He played 7.5 minutes per game, got you some points, got you some rebounds. I mean, that's a very small role for a player, and he played a very similar role in Boston in the event he would sign. With that said, if he's just a training camp body or maybe more likely on the veteran minimum, that's not that bad of a signing. That type of player you're adding isn't supposed to play a bunch of major minutes for you. It'd be a little bit weird, frankly, if he did. We'll look at some other free agent targets here for Boston in just a moment. But first, today's show is made possible by our good friends over at Fanatics. The t-shirt and shorts combo pack for the Boston Celtics is available for 40% off at chatsports.com/Celtics combo. That link will be in the comment section and in the description of today's show. So go check it out. I'll link it down there again for you guys. chatsports.com/Celtics combo. A couple other potential vet minimum targets I want to make note of. Mostly big men, which I think makes the most sense for where Boston's roster is currently constructed. Terrence Ross as kind of that swing man. He can play some guard, can play some forward for you. J. Michael Green can play the 4 or the 5. He's probably one of the better veteran bigs still available, which means maybe he has his pick of a bunch of different vet minimum offers, since there really is a haves and haves not in the NBA salary standpoint. Taj Gibson, the aging veteran. Trendon Watford could stand out as maybe a bit of a younger player. Eric Pascal, remember when he was really good for the Warriors? Well, really good is probably an overstatement, but he's played a decent role there. So there are some pieces out there that could maybe even be better options than Alize Johnson for that backup, big, cheap veteran minimum type of role. But in general, the NBA is kind of on hold right now. There's not going to be a lot of major movement. Not there's a lot of big players left. I mean, Christian Wood's out there too. I think at some point he gets more than the vet min, but who knows at this stage. Until Damian Lillard gets moved or James Harden gets moved, the NBA's in a bit of a wait-and-see mode. There'll be the occasional minor signing, but some of these vet guys who are going to try to chase a ring, might want to see where one of those 2 players end up as well. Before you know it, we will be in NBA training camps and, more importantly, in the NBA regular season. So if you are excited and you are ready for this year's NBA season with a chance for Boston to finally get over, at least in recent memory, that Eastern Conference NBA Finals not quite good enough to win the whole damn thing issue, then type me in the comment section right now.